There is always something pleasurable in the struggle and the victory. Project Zomboid is a game where most characters don't live for very long. However, with the release of Build 42 looming somewhere on the horizon, theoretically, I wanted to do at least one recorded run where I lived for a very long time, and so this video and this run is the result of that wish. Day 1, my adventure, or struggle, begins in front of my starter house, which didn't have much in it. I end up dual-wielding these plungers for my first encounter with the undead, and then move on to a kitchen knife and a metal pipe. I managed to do very little on day 1 other than kill the zombies around my house and then rest and recover. Day 2, I divide my time between studying, as I will need the skills for long-term survival, and fighting, because in order to ensure my short-term survival, the zombies around my house need to be dead, and then my neighborhood, and then the world. We'll get there. Day 3 is basically all about the truck that is out front of the house. I managed to get some gas out of this wrecked car and haul it home. I think to check the truck's condition after I have the gas, but luckily it looks okay. And then, that being done, it's back to the studying grind and the broken sleep cycle of an early stage survivor. Day 4. All I did was sit in the room and read books. Wow, I forgot about this. Day 5, I begin with foraging. I learn that the water has already gone out, which is very unusual. I get a barbecue grill, because who knows, the power might go out soon too. Here I am shouting on the street. I think I've finally cleared the starting area. Day 6, the gas station. This will become my starter base, as it were. But first, gotta clear out all the zombies. At this point, it is becoming apparent doing the editing and the voiceover that my enthusiasm for play in these early days was useful. However, I took no notes from which to build the script or to record my thoughts at the time, so I'm just kind of trying to divine whatever the heck I was doing from watching the footage and clips that I have. Things will get better as we get deeper into the days when I started doing more diligent note-taking. Day 7. Just to the upper right of the southern gas station that I now call home, the police station. I lucked out on finding a key, so the guns are mine. As always, more fighting, more clearing. The main strip of Moldra and all of its zombies will keep me occupied for quite some time. I don't want to walk all the way back to the gas station to sleep, so I actually hide out in the jail cell, continue reading my new collection of books, and sleep on this bench. Day 8. The helicopter comes to visit. It feels like all of the normal events of a new life in Zomboid are starting early. The water, the helicopter, being perfectly positioned in this jail cell and out of line of sight of any zombies, I opt to just stay in my cell. Day 9. I do not in fact leave my cell. Nothing but reading and finishing off all these books happens. Day 10. I finally emerge from the police station to do battle against the undead. This particular fight goes pretty smoothly, and compared to what I remember fighting more recently, this is small. It's fine. After that, I head to the tape store and grab up all of the tapes that I can remember that give skill bonuses. Carpentry, exposure survival, car zone, all that good stuff. Day 11. I loot the warehouses that are behind the police station for building supplies. I secure a decorative garden gnome. Originally, I had a plan where I was going to do a bit where my character argued with the gnome and I was going to do voices, but the more I worked on it, the more I realized I didn't want to keep it up for hundreds of days, so I ditched it. And finally, you get to see the base. This is the building I have chosen for the Moldra starter base, and we're just gonna put up some bars and metal sheets, and then get to work on cleaning up the interior. The one sad thing about this gas station is I learned that those magazine racks on the right-hand side can't actually be dismantled. They would need to be destroyed with a sledgehammer, and I don't recall whether I ever got around to doing that. I know I certainly didn't in these early days. So that was kind of a moment, because everything else in here is dismantleable. Day 12. I finish up dismantling all the various bits of furniture and organize my loot on the ground like a gremlin. I'll spend some more time unloading the truck from all of its stuff and dealing with loot also in this other truck, because I like to have a truck that I don't have to care about if it gets destroyed, and another one which I will hang on to and use to drive town to town as needed. Finally, on the note of the truck that I'll be driving around town, I go up the road a little ways and immediately encounter resistance, which means it's time for combat. For the most part, the kukri machete functions basically just like a normal machete. It feels, in hindsight, a bit more durable, but it certainly carries me as far as it can until my character gets tired and I have to start chugging vitamins to keep up the fight. Exertion is a pain, but if you use a hunting knife, or I think anything with like 0.5 or less weight as a weapon, you will eventually go positive on exertion and the moodle will go away, although it will still be there the moment you swing a bigger weapon. Be cautious with that. Day 13. I do functionally nothing on day 13 except fight zombies. This area that I'm at here is actually just to the upper left of the police station and just to the bottom left of the strip mall that contains the bookstore. So I've actually cleared this ground once already, thus the corpses and the more corpses we're about to make. I like fighting right here because there's this handy park bench that I can rest on, which will keep my exertion moodle from reducing my damage. Day 14. I enjoy reading in my little storage closet until a bit later, the power goes out, which kind of ruins my plan of watching all those VHS tapes I got earlier. Day 15. I will need to go get a generator in order to turn the TV back on, but I do have a bunch of books to finish reading, so I focus on that. Might as well have that done before I go out on another adventure. Day 16. Still reading. Day 17. I get into one of the larger storage units in Muldra and search basically the entire thing for a generator, and as you can see, behind all these doors, no generators. So I eventually chop my way through a security door, and luckily there's a generator. Day 18. I guess I wasn't done with all the reading, so here we are. Day 19. Still reading. Ugh. Day 20. Finally, I am no longer reading. The sword you see here is the Odachi from a mod. There's a mod listed in the description. It's really strong, but I don't remember finding any after I got these two in Muldra. Also, on things I don't remember Muldra having a gun store, so this is news to me and probably a mod that I installed that had an unintended map side effect. I think it was the Muldra checkpoint mod that did this, but I'm not going to turn down guns, you know, might as well. So yeah, now I have a pile of guns and ammo. Just hanging out here, being cool with my only friend, the gnome. Day 21. It's now time to start using all the guns I've collected. I start with the shotgun, as it's the fastest way to level up the firearm skill and get to the good stuff. Of note here is a new technique I found. You can do this safely at nimble level 1 and up. Just keep backing up in a straight line. The zombie's attack animation will root them in place, and you'll be out of range by the time the hitbox for their strike is active. That said, the technique feels nerve-wracking to use and is more risky than creating more space by just walking away, so you won't see me using it very much in the future. And back to fighting. This battle takes the entire day. It's a lot of zombies. Day 22. More combat. Once again, the Odachi doing real work with those seemingly insta-kills on every hit. Don't worry, this weapon won't last forever, and things will get harder again. I find a cool modded backpack on a zombie that looks really good with the armor that it's wearing, but when I try it on, for me, the straps don't look right to me. Even though it would be an upgrade, I leave it behind because I do not like the aesthetics. Day 23. That's a big truck. Once again, mods that I kind of spaced out on having installed. This is the South Muldra military checkpoint, and it is laden with guns. Later that night, I go and loot tents for weaponry. The footage is really dark, so we'll just skip over that. Instead, have a look inside this crate. This crate in the checkpoint that is also just full of weaponry. We're gonna have more than enough guns for a long, long time. Happy days. Day 24. I worked through the night and into the morning, loading all of the guns in this place into the big truck, to the point where I've totally ruined my sleep schedule and I need to fall asleep at about 11 a.m. After nap time, it's time to unload the truck into the base. At least try to get some semblance of organization out of these very organized piles of loot into the wee hours of the next morning, but still technically today, I do a little foraging just to start unleveling that. Day 25 is another combat day. Day 26. The Muldra shoot-up continues. I moved to using a silencer because I am tired of pulling too many zombies and then running out of ammo and having to shuffle and kite them around. And it just risks getting me overwhelmed, basically. Being out of ammo for that particular rifle, I make sure to keep the silencer since those are pretty rare, and then switch to hand weaponry. The rifle I do not keep because it is not rare. And eventually I managed to get another gun out of my truck. This one does not have a silencer, so it has attracted far more zombies than its poor little clip size can handle. Day 27. I begin the day by doing a bunch more foraging. Having achieved the next level of foraging, it's time to sit down and read another foraging manual here with my buddy the gnome. After reading that, a large amount of time has passed, and I need to catch up on hunger, thirst, sleep, and all the rest. Strange. It's almost like when I read books in real life. Day 28. I'm on the hunt for propane. The southern warehouses turn out to only have a single propane torch. The northern warehouse on the other side of Muldra probably has some, but there's a lot of zombies between me and it still, so I get back to work. I'm focused primarily on using guns right now because I have a ton of them and it's usually going to be safer than being in melee. In the first part of this footage, I almost die because my rifle has a 2x scope on it, making it horribly inaccurate in the 1 to 2 tile range. I almost make it up to the motel before being pushed back. This means I'm about halfway to the warehouse and the other side of town. Unfortunately, my character's sleep schedule is screwy. I get tired and have to retreat. Well, this at least means I can get more ammo from home. Except I can't go home yet. The zombies are on my truck. I could walk, but I don't wanna. Success. Time to go rest and reload. Day 30. What's that, David the Gnome? Every 30 in-game days, I should change the game settings to make things harder in some way. What a great idea. I've disabled zombie group formation. Basically what that means is zombies won't form happy little packs of 20 anymore, nor will they respect migration rules, so there could be any amount of zombies in a given area at any time. This makes the danger and difficulty of any place that I travel to much more variable, and I find it to be a more enjoyable and challenging alternate setting to play on. Day 31. More combat. I'm so close to the warehouse. Once I'm done cleaning up the main strip of Muldra, the rest of the town should be easy. The rain is particularly bad today, so I stop at the hotel and dismantle stuff to level up my carpentry and electrical skills. I haul a chair into this bathroom and sleep. Late next morning, I bathe for the first time in a month. Day 32. Okay, there's carpentry level 6. I didn't really plan to catch the level ding, but I'm glad I happened to press record here. I'll need to go back to the bookstore and pick up the next carpentry book. But first, let's kill some more zombies and work our way closer to the northern warehouse. Oh, this is a nice yeep thingy. Out of ammo and separated from my truck, I'm forced to switch to melee weapons and wade back into the fight. I'm not sure I'm getting the truck back today. Nope, there's the fatigue noodle. I'm out. Retreat. I reload my mags. Day 33. I take a break, stay warm and dry indoors, and finish up reading Carpentry Volume 4. In the dark of night, I begin the journey back up the road toward my truck and the hordes of undead. Day 34. Combat continues. I feel like I've hit a new area of town in terms of the number of zombies my gunfire is pulling. I make it back to the truck, more shooting. Exhausted in the middle of the day, my sleep cycles are screwy. Back to the hotel for a nap. I realize all this traveling up and down from my base far to the south all the way back up here is getting ridiculous, so I load everything into the big truck and move my base of operations all the way up to the hotel. I place David the Gnome in our new home, where he can watch over me in my vulnerable moments. I love how this gun sounds. Shame I only had 10 bullets for it. I'm so close to the warehouse, and I have a deagle with over 700 rounds. Finally, there's the northern warehouse. Day 35. Pushed back again. Now down to about 500 bullets. It'll be fine. Lots of combat. Lots more zombies on the road than I saw here yesterday. In the little zip mart, I find a Hot EZ magazine on the stand. Most excellent. Ah, they broke the garage door. And there it is. Sledgehammer. Probably important for later. Unfortunately, there's only a single propane torch in this entire warehouse. Day 36. As you may have noticed by now, I haven't been very big on base building or storing and organizing all the loot that is scattered throughout the base and in the back of this truck. I spent a long time at this point trying to think of where I should set up my main base with an eye to coming back to it and possibly surviving hundreds of days. And I am thinking one of the McCoy logging warehouses would be good. It's going to take some work though, a lot of work. In fact, I actually run out of ammo here and am forced to retreat. This seems to be becoming a running theme of my adventures. Day 37. On this day, the initial clearing is done and I can actually consider moving in or fixing up the place a bit. The boxes on the right will serve as an invulnerable barrier so long as I don't move or dismantle them. All that's needed is to board up these windows and install the door, and then the starter base inside the base is secure. For the first time in this whole run, I actually do put a little effort into making the space truly my own and organizing the stuff inside it a bit. Day 38. My new base is going to need a generator and an oven. I've not yet reached electrical level 3, so I can't lift a regular oven. That's a problem. Also, did I mention that I hate grinding electrical levels, and so that's probably never going to happen? I go to the middle of Muldra, where this house right here always has an antique oven in it. I'll be taking it with me after I resolve this house alarm. That done, my next stop is the storage units nearby to hunt for a generator. And let there be light and oven, though I may move it later and make this look nicer. Lastly, despite the generator being on, the main room of the warehouse isn't lit. This is because the light switch is beyond the generator's range. In order for a light switch to be operable and the lights in the area to turn on, the generator has to be within 20 tiles of that given switch. This means either I need to get another generator, or maybe move the one I have onto the roof for maximum coverage. I'm just gonna put that down as a problem for future me. Also, where the heck is my cooking pot? Day 39. I load up a lot of the food from Green's grocer to take back home, and yes, here is my cooking pot. Now to get to the lake and do some fishing, but first we have to clean up the zombies. Other than the one, there don't seem to be any. Did I seriously get all the zombies slain during the earlier fights around the warehouse? 3 a.m. There the zombies are, just a bit north of the warehouse near the lake. My god, it's the RPD bulletproof vest. We've killed Leon. He's like a less than 1% spawn chance. I thought he was also spawn restricted to Rosewood, but I guess not. Day 40. A chill day. I spent a bit of it foraging and then do more fishing. Back at base, I unload all the food and do some loot organizing. The fridge is now overflowing with food. The bags near it, also food, so that's solved for quite some time, as long as I'm close enough to home to be able to eat here. Day 41. I cook a lot of fish. It is worth experience points. I make some stairs. I make one crappy rain barrel just to have some water. I forgot I needed to be Carpentry 7 to make the good rain barrels. I leave some stuff behind on the roof to upgrade it later. Remember this? It had a key in it the whole time. Propane tank. Yay. I'll need this fuel to level metalworking eventually. The main road of Muldra may be clear, but the actual innards of the town are still infested. The warehouse I came to visit doesn't have much other than this car jack and a propane torch. Day 42. Another small warehouse I hadn't thought to check. Another propane torch. More fishing. My clothes start to soak through from the rain, so I head home. I build a composter. Since I'm basically fishing only for the experience levels at this point, excess fish can be turned into compost for farming and worms. The worms we can then use to catch more fish in the future. The good life. Warm fire, stew boiling, warm, dry, not being attacked by zombies. I take some time to eat up and read Foraging Volume 4. Day 43. I continue to stay indoors and keep cooking. Can you hear the storm outside? Yeah, purely a stay indoors and read kind of day. Day 44. For the first time, I venture beyond the edge of Muldra. Perfect. Some wrecks I can dismantle for metalworking XP. Getting to metalworking level 1 means I can repair vehicle hoods, which will make maintaining my chosen steed in the long term much easier. A level of driving skill. Nice. This is the place. White Rock, I think. A mod town that I've never visited in any playthrough until now. It looks like getting a vehicle in would require the sledgehammer, which I didn't bring, so we break in through these little side windows. Even more guns and ammo. Okay, game. I've never had to try this. Apparently it can't unbarricade windows from the wrong side, so I'm stuck either waiting for zombies to make a hole or drive back and get the hammer. I chose waiting. Much like going to Louisville or Raven Creek, there are loads of guns in these tents. I leave them for now and opt for being sneaky. Finally, zombies to fight. Remember how I just said being sneaky? I lied. Tired at 3 p.m. Time to run. I sleep up the road a ways in the car, and then it's time for night combat. Day 45. Having spent a portion of the day loading up the Yeep, I am prepared for war, and for being away from home for a few days. I return, armed and ready. It's time to try and go in, or maybe just fight some more. I basically have to rely on the hit outline function to see what I'm fighting, so I'm hyper cautious in combat here, and haven't recorded much of it. I sleep in the car, and the corpses make that unpleasant. I find the other end of this little enclosed space. The zombies seem confused against that gate, and now I'm confused. They seem to have broken the window in the bottom left, but aren't breaking the boards or coming through. Oh god, that's a chunk of them. No shame in thinning them out by shooting them through this grate before they breach. Zombie pathfinding is dumb or broken, I guess. My computer is now lagging just looking at them. Despite having made a pathway through, they are definitely not coming through. A couple of them pathed onto the walkway above the metal fencing and dropped down, and a board is missing on the southern gatehouse, so maybe they'll come through. Day 46. Yep, we're still right here. I convinced some of them to come through. I think their pathfinding is struggling with the sheer number of zombies versus the narrow number of entryways or something. That said, I've grown bored of this. Yeah, see, after we walk away a bit, even more zombies are rendered. They're just plain stuck shoulder to shoulder in there. No amount of loot or exploration is worth that sort of mechanically broken hell. I will find another way in, or come back with a sledgehammer and maybe try and open up the fence to allow Zed flow. I expected many things coming here, but not this. Not brokenness. So screw it. We're going to Marchridge. I had forgotten by this point, again, what map mods I had installed. I guess I did have the Marchridge military checkpoint installed because this terrain is not normally here. Yep, that's the little checkpoint. Doesn't look like there's any silly crates full of guns, but there are 2 more of the chonker trucks. Is that the only vehicle coded to spawn in these checkpoints? Never mind. Just a little way in, more tents. These will probably have some weapons. If I weren't already drowning in shotgun shells and etc., I would care. Anyway, into Marchridge. The fighting continues. I won't make it into town properly today. Tired, I retreat and sleep in my car back at one of the big intersections where I know I'll be relatively safe. Day 47. Okay, spent the early morning fighting and boarded up this little gatehouse to sleep and rest in. Let's see if we can do anything in Marchridge today. Of course, the very first house I check turns out to be full of zombies. So yeah, there's a lot of zombies in Marchridge. Kinda should have expected that. Despite fighting my way up to this point yesterday, they're still coming in. My reward for all this? A juice box and some canned fruit cocktail. For a brief moment, things quiet down, and I can be alone with my thoughts, but my head is empty. Having these military checkpoints everywhere is silly. At this point, I am restricting myself to picking up only shotgun shells and 45 ACP bullets. I like using guns, but at this point I've tried all of the guns that are available in the mod pack and decided on which ones and which ammo types are my favorites. Eventually, I will hit a town that doesn't have convenient guns at the entry point, I hope. Day 48. Ooh, a police car. The siren on this will do nicely. I want to break from shotgunning, so I use the cleaver for a bit. Today, I just want to show the trail of destruction I've made so far. Here it is. And I guess I've tired my character out. Retreat to the gatehouse to sleep then. Day 49. I make my way west toward the apartment complex. I spent the dark hours of the morning clearing the path here, but there's of course more work to do. At some point in the Marchridge assault, I gained both desensitized and shooter. Shooter gives more gun experience. Desensitized makes me immune to most of the sources that cause panic. Being mostly immune to panic, of course, makes me better at combat. When you're panicking, it reduces your crit chance, basically. The downside of having desensitized is there's no way to get rid of it, and because I don't panic, I actually will be steadily accumulating boredom in a lot more situations. Panicked characters can't accumulate boredom, and thus don't get depressed as often. So that's all long-term stuff that future Ducky will have to deal with. Staving off boredom and a sense of existential dread will be a part of my gameplay for the rest of the run, just like real life. The main thing about the apartment complex is it's a great place to find weapons. You may have noticed I don't spend a lot of time indoors, nor do I get into fights with zombies indoors very often. This is because, as shown here with me getting surprised and then fleeing, being indoors comes with additional risks. Constrained exits, tight spaces, unseen zombies, zombies around corners. If you want to live a long time, I recommend doing all of your fighting outside, where it's easier to maneuver zombies into convenient ball-shaped hordes and to retreat across long distances as needed. Day 50. The combat and clearing continues. Finally, I'm free. I've run out of shotgun shells, and blissfully take to using other weaponry for the moment. Meat cleaver. Machete. A pistol I found with just 5 shots. Day 51. I trigger a house alarm, but there just aren't many zombies left for it to pull in. Since I've eaten most of the food I brought with me, I scour the nearby houses for food and work on filling the duffel bag full of foodstuffs. I am ambushed while sorting my loot at the Yeep. With the food added to the truck, I have so much pistol ammo in the vehicle that it's overflowing the trunk and the seats, so I go shooting again. After much searching, I find a barbecue grill to take back to base so that I can cook without risk of catching myself on fire. Day 52. I get into a bit of another fight. I'm very close to Marchridge's town center. Books, food, maybe cool cars could be had. We'll see, but first we have to clean this mess up. It's been a while since I used a short blunt weapon, and I do have many of these nightsticks still in the vehicle. The great thing about having tons of ammo is if I'm exerted from doing melee combat, I just switch to guns for a bit until my character catches their breath. And here we are, the commercial center of March Ridge. Still not safe enough to really poke around much, though. My reward: glorious snacks access, and a map of Lake Ivy, which I forgot I had installed. I should probably go there later. Day 53. At this stage of my run, my character can do most things. Car repair, base building, etc. There isn't a lot of progression in that way left other than to raise combat skills and physical fitness. There are, of course, the skills that I don't use the functions of very much, like tailoring. My gameplay can begin to shift from the constant pressure of needing to survive to playing around somewhat based on my own preferences and whims. As long as I make no major screw-ups and don't get cornered or bitten by surprise, survival is going to become easier over time now. The other main problem would be taking on too many zombies at once without having a good plan in place to disengage. The March Ridge Community Center is basically the last big building that is interesting to me here. The rest of Western March Ridge is just a bunch of houses. Like, it's fine, but they're all kind of cookie-cutter-ish. Which is fits for what this place is. I think I'm done in March Ridge now. I spent the rest of the day poking around the apartments, get some more weapons, take a bath. In the dark of night, it's time to go. Day 54. The road to Rosewood is bleak. Made it to turn off. Tired, but I can't really stop the process I've started here. Gun use doesn't seem to be affected very much by fatigue, so I'll use that to my advantage. Oh gods. This is a problem. I've never had this happen before. This seems to be outside of normal game behavior. Quitting out and then logging back in has put my feet firmly on the ground once more, thankfully. I try and replicate that glitch a few times, but fail. Time to sleep in this bathroom stall as planned. In the night, I scour around for gas to siphon and clear the area of zombies a bit more. Day 55. Truly a terrible place to be stuck in with torrential rain and low visibility. I've got to check out the drive-in, right? Not much here though. A zombie brings me a new axe, so at this point I feel like I'm over full on weaponry and tools. The projector room. I kind of want to live here, but there's not much reason to. I saw it done on Reddit once, basically. I have a feeling these trees could get me killed, so I chop them down to expand line of sight as I go up and down these stairs. All my hours of play, and I've never actually gone and looked at this screen in-game before. Huh. Not safe to sleep here function saved me. The game forbids the player from sleeping if a zombie is actively pathing toward their location, generally. And here's some storm noises as I make my way into Rosewood proper. Day 56. Fighting my way into Rosewood. So far, so good. The sharp noise when the hand axe gets a kill is one of my favorite noises in the game. All the combat leaves my character with no sense of real consistency. Tired already, so I hide out in this trailer for a nap. Ah, one of the most well-known locations in the game. The Rosewood Fire Station. It's time to give a shout. Honestly, a disappointingly low number show up to the party. Okay, Fire Station, what loot do you have? I was hoping for a sledgehammer on the shelves since I never went back home to grab mine. No sledge, no luck, no sledge. It might be a good time to point out that I took the unlucky trait, character creation. My hand axe broke in the moment right before I hit record here. I'll soon use some sleeping tablets to pass out, try and correct the sleep cycle a bit. The next morning, I open up the garage doors to make sure zombies don't destroy them, and then seek further adventures. Day 57. I crave violence. Ah, this is more like it. Fight, fight, fight. There's a lot more fighting happening than is shown here in the footage, obviously. And I guess I found where all the zombies were. I guess they were just a few screens over and not in town yet when I arrived. Day 58. Turns out this truck is in good condition. I'll use it as my daily driver for a bit. First stop, the pharmacy for more sleeping tablets. In we go, over into the residential to explore and look for a generator. In the third garage I check, I find one. I raid the grocery store, but encounter no resistance. I feel I should point out that I haven't even touched the food that I gathered in March Ridge. The gas station snacks from South Rosewood and everywhere else I've been along the way sustain me still. In a box of cereal, I find some special dance cards that unlock unique moves. I find it funny that my guy can do this in full kit with that machete on his back. Tired, I crash out in the exam room at the pharmacy. Day 59. It occurs to me it might be cool to set myself up in the apartments above the shops here on the main strip of Rosewood. I've never done that before, and I'd rather not live in the fire station long term, just because it's been done to death. I didn't actually realize there were 6 apartments up here in total, nor that the bottom rear hallway connected everything below like a spiderweb to all the first floor shops. It's kind of cool. Next is to keep fighting my way up toward the northern gas station. I am on my last machete, and here I am at the gas station. Gas secured. Back at my new home, I take stock of what I have. Not much, though there is a vehicle magazine. Day 60. In the cold light of morning, I fetch another generator. This one is for home. I'm sure some of you are wondering why I didn't crack open the police station armory when I first arrived. In short, I didn't need to. I still don't. In the Yeep, I still have tons of weapons and ammo that I brought from Muldra that I haven't used yet, including what I got in Marchridge. That said, for my next dive, I wouldn't mind having a bit more 9mm and shotgun ammo. I've also made it to day 60. Excuse me, as I cheat to make my settings more spicy. I re-enable the helicopter to sometimes in the options so that I have another thing that can kind of throw a wrench in my plans. But today's plan is simple. Step 1, sacrifice the fire truck in front of the prison. Leave the siren on until zombies destroy it, so that it will draw the maximum number of zombies out. 2, run away or tactical retreat. 3, come back later with the Yeep full of weapons and fight my way in cautiously. Well, there's a lot of zombie. More than planned for or expected, I'd say. They push me back quite a ways, and I expend almost all my ammo. I have to do some escape and evasion, and I loop back home to sleep. A brief stop at the fire station to load up on weapons, since I can't be certain that I'll get back to the Yeep to refill my ammo. Strangely, I do make it back without issue. I only fought one zombie on the way. Round 2, baby. Let's go. Day 61. Combat continues on the road to the prison. I open all of my 45 ammo boxes and go in. It's not glamorous or exciting so much as it is a brain-numbing chore punctuated by moments of sheer panic. Life is a game of losing and gaining ground. I make it back to the gates, only to do it all over again. Took a bit to make it back, but here I am. I am baffled that the light bar of the siren isn't broken. I assume this is because I retreated far enough from the vehicle itself that it was dropped from the game's active memory and couldn't make noise or be attacked. I'm unsure if this is actually true. It's just a feeling backed by a theory that sounds kind of plausible. I fight on until my precious revolver finally breaks. Then it's time to retreat to the fire station and sleep again. With a key to the prison, which I found on a dead zombie, I can open all the cells and loot all the plushies and ramen noodles. This is, of course, the true reward of clearing out the place. Fighting indoors in the prison is the thing I absolutely dislike the most so far on this run. The only other thing that comes close is the glitchy pathing and the ball of stuck zombies at the White Rock checkpoint. Day 62. I see the rain and head home, thinking I might have enough water in the cooking pot to cook a proper meal. There is not enough rainwater yet. At least I got rid of some of the zombies in my backyard. Back on the road to the prison, I move the Yeep forward. Some more footage of me running around and nearly dying in the prison. Also the prison armory, in case I ever need even more bullets. And the first of 2 cell blocks. At least I know I'll be safe behind bars as I sleep. Day 63. I start looting this wing. Cereal, chocolate, and my second hot easy of the run. More tense combat in the prison hall. The exercise yard. Here is a sort of glitchy thing that can occur in any game of Zomboid in Build 41 as far as I'm aware. There's far too many zombies banging on those bars. They stack higher than they should because the bars are destructible. On settings with a higher zombie population, there can be quite a lot more zombies in a ball on those bars, but it should be fine here. Let's clear them up so the banging noise stops. There's something going wrong in the library. I loop my way around to the library entrance, but encounter so much lag looking at them that I decide to run away. I am not obligated to kill them all, and let's not take risks fighting at 5 FPS. There, both cell blocks clear, which is my goal for getting in here. I think I've had enough of the prison. I take my trophies and make my way out. At home, I enjoy a luxuriant meal and enjoy having a proper house with electricity. I'll go back to retrieve the Yeep and figure out my next moves tomorrow. Day 64. I pull the remaining food out of the other apartments. Turns out there's plenty of adventure to be had in my backyard still. There, all clear. Or perhaps not, I engage, thinking that I'm about to fight 5. This is more than 5. Later that afternoon, I take the road less traveled, west, behind Rosewood. Doesn't seem to be anything cool up here within walking distance. I go until I'm tired, then turn around and head for home. Day 65. I spend the morning foraging, whenever the zombies let me, anyway. I go into the other side of town that I haven't explored yet, a little ways in. Zombies, finally. Something to do. Good to know the town still has some fight left in it. It feels like the zombies wearing armor are actually tougher than average. I'm not sure if that's just like cognitive bias or if that's an actual thing where the clothing stats affect zombies. The school. I'm hoping for more Hottie Z, of course. With the last zombie I fight here, there's a weird interaction. I'll just let it roll. The axe didn't make the usual hit noise, and it sounded like the zombie was going into a lunge animation, which is strange. The rain picks up again. Good, because my cooking pot demands water. I enjoy luxury and bathe in this apartment bathroom. I have a sit down and read all the magazines that I got from the school. Day 66. I've been getting the cold moodle when I sleep, so I figured I would get some more clothes to try and correct that. While I'm looting the store, a car alarm starts going off. I didn't know this could happen without player interaction. There may be some things that only happen in single player. Note that I've played far more multiplayer Zomboid than single player at this stage. This is my longest single player run. What's most interesting to me so far in Rosewood is how much consistent zombie pressure I'm under close to home, despite having respawns disabled. Wait, this building doesn't belong here. God damn it. Another gun store from a mod. I'm not even gonna bother with it right now. I know. I did this to myself. The curse of too much ammo. Winter problems. If you're wanting to do a gun-heavy or guns-only playthrough, I guess the collection linked below is for you. I'm 66 days in, and I am already tired of gun and ammo management. Day 67. Today I'm just on the hunt for a few more water containers. Cooking pots, saucepans, anything will do. I'm aware that I could make rain barrels at my base, but I think this makes for more interesting gameplay, and I'd rather not try and build stairs to get on the roof of the roof. This house has 2 that I can use, so that's my little quest for today over. I had a nice speech prepared about how I was going to drive to the little lake to the south and go fishing. Obviously it didn't pan out that way. Because group formation is disabled, there could be an awful amount of zombies in weird, unexpected places. And I certainly didn't expect this many zombies to be here. I am having flashbacks, nightmare flashbacks, to playing this area with screamers and pinpoint hearing enabled. Out of ammo for now, and down to hand weapons. It's late, and there's still more zombies ahead. I think I'll play it safe and drive back to town. Day 68. I think before this, my longest single player run was about 65 days, so this is definitely a new record for me. Yeesh, still a lot of zombies. Let's get them. Well, this isn't quite the prison, but damn, it's a lot of zombies. I didn't realize here that I was fighting with an encumbrance moodle penalty active, so I am now exhausted. I got into this trailer just to sleep, but it turns out there was a speaker in this box. I don't know about you guys, but in my many hours of the game, I believe this is the first time I've ever seen this item. Day 69. At this point, I probably could have just driven back to Muldra, caught all the fish I wanted, and then done whatever. But I'm committed, and there's a lot of kill count to be earned here. This is actually the last of the 9mm ammo that I've found in town so far, so soon I'll be down to shotgun and then hand weapons, unless I loot that gun store in Rosewood, I guess. I know what I just said a few days ago about being tired of guns, but also, guns make dealing with stuff like this easier, like shaving days off of combat. Eventually, I'll be totally out of ammo, and you'll begin to see the difference in my play. That day may not come soon though, we'll see. After much combat, I've at least secured this house. This is my preferred, survival skills house in Rosewood. It's close enough to walk to the lake, it's adjacent to a good woods-type foraging zone, and it's away from town. Though I feel like there have been more zombies out here away from town than there have been inside of Rosewood this run. My lake is, of course, covered in zombies. Who could have guessed? For the first time, I cook a meal over a campfire. I've reconnected with nature, just a little. Day 70. So close to the finish line. 30 more days. My day begins like usual. It would probably help if I'd brought the fishing rod. Finally, I can fish at this lake. So much bloodshed just to get here. Well, that should sustain me for a while. This is far more fish than I need, but I wanted the experience points. I'm not quite fishing level 4 yet, so I'll hang out here for another day. Day 71. I build a composter. The fish I don't use will become useful in other ways later, if I ever return here, but I'm still a little ways away from the next fishing level, so it's back to the pond for me. There's the level up. With that out of the way, I am now high enough level to fish and catch things, even in winter. It's time to move on, back to town to consider the next step. I spend some time organizing my car. Fine, I guess I'll take more gun stuff before I leave town. Shotgun, 9mm, 22, and at least 1 gun to shoot each. I've been thinking I want to go somewhere modded next, so let's go back south, past March Ridge, and go to Erie Country. I stopped for fuel, but am accosted by groaning vagabonds. It's late, so I'll spend 1 more night in Rosewood. Day 72. On the way out, I stopped to kill a few zombies. It turns out there are more than I expected. Did I not clear this area on the way into town some time ago? Again, the road is blocked. More. There are so many that I'm lagging like I'm back in Louisville again. For the first time in a long time, I actually have to deploy the piano bench to recover endurance quickly, using guns pulled from the dead to pull in more dead. 9 p.m. Can't get back to the car, so I guess I'm staying another night in Rosewood. Day 73. A zombie up at the fire station is a rarity these days. The last of my pistol ammo is expended. There are still plenty of zombies in the woods. There's more ammo in the vehicle, but I can't get to it yet. I love using metal bars and pipes, though. Okay, finally made it back. This part was a little tense. It works out, though, and I drive back to Rosewood to rest for the night. One more night in Rosewood. Tomorrow, we try and get out of here again. Day 74. The weather turns terrible. South Rosewood drive-in and gas station. I can feel it. This is going to be another fighting day, isn't it? I rotate through a variety of weapons. When tired, I shoot until I catch my breath. Repeat. At 4 p.m., it seems like I've won. I realize at this point the zombies are probably being pulled from the road to the west, which leads to the secret base. We may go there someday. Maybe, but not today. Day 75. I finally escape Rosewood. At the map border to Erie, a police truck. Good little pit stop. Get a bit of ammo out of it. And here we are at the road wrecks just before the first buildings. Wait, I hear it. The helicopter. Retreat to the Yeep. Honestly, I grabbed all my ammo, and other than the initial waves, this was a surprisingly mild fight compared to getting free from Rosewood. Despite this, they keep trickling in late into the night. I clear my way down to the hotel, and then go into an intact room to sleep. Day 76. Not many zombies left after last night. Took a minute to find a way to get the Yeep through the gap here. Have I mentioned lately that I absolutely hate fighting in tight spaces? Not too much to be found in this initial area. Really liking the building design, though. Erie country so far, so good. Day 77. Time to drive deeper in. I ask some firemen for directions. For the first time in the run, I slam into something, a baby tree, and then turn the recording on to show you the damages. Luckily, Lil Yeep isn't too badly hurt. First, random location on my list crossed off, which turned out to be a cute tiny graveyard. I need somewhere safe to sleep, so I pick this house to try and open up. I make many, mistakes here and am somehow not punished with death. Finally, things are quiet and I can add some more boards to the windows. I drink a little victory wine, I have victory smoke, and then go to bed. Day 78. Forging Book 5 is in the closet. That'll save me a trip back to Mulder later, and of course, zombies on my doorstep. Next on my list of buildings is this one just down the street. School? Church? Something? However, there's an issue with zombie pathing and this door, and the interior has zombies in it. I maybe will come back here once they've broken through. Let's try a different building. This one appears entirely blocked off from the outside, so I have to do a little work to get in. Gardening store, I think, judging by the loot types. Upstairs is more of the same gardening loot. Not on my list, but it's on the way, so I decided to check it out. Little fishing shack kind of place. It's well designed regardless. I like it. On the way to my next arbitrary goalpost, I encounter a few zombies, and then a few more. I make it all the way back down to the big church school thing and expend my last few shotgun shells. Then it's time to head home. I leave the shotgun on the table of my house, its final round chambered, and then lay my head down to rest. Day 79. In the morning, I load up the last bit of ammo and guns that I have. It's time for 22, which is not so secretly the strongest ammo type in this gun mod. Weight to damage ratio, basically. And as far as I recall, all of the 22 type guns have really good crit chance as well. I've also got this 44 Magnum that I found recently, so that's handy. The interior of the school is very well designed and decorated. And terrifying. What is this? Like they were building tons of rooms up here in the attic or something? And the generators. So that would give us the story. The occupants are dead by lethal fumes, maybe. And yes, I will be hauling some of these generators out of this building for my personal use. Damn, that was terrifying. I think we're done with this building now. Yep. On to the next location. Nice place here. A smidge of ammo in this police car. That looks like it's from some familiar IP. It's whitish red and has a dyno on it, and I probably can't show it on video. This is the 22 rifle in action. Balanced. This place would be a nice little base if I weren't already almost done poking around this town and had not already chosen a house to live in. Lots of locations in Erie country left to visit, so let's move on. I quite like this house too. It's kind of empty, ready to be filled with fresh furniture and all that goodness. The long walk back to the Yeep. I encounter a few zombies. Kind of want to get the gas station here up and running since I found that generator, and I don't know what the other towns will have in terms of, generators to be found, gas station pumps, etc. Okay, generator set up. A gas station with no snacks. It's not how the game is supposed to work, but I'll take it. Keeps it interesting. Hey, want to hear what reloading a Glock mag on 4x speed sounds like? Day 80. Okay, let's head out for more adventure. On the way out, I managed to slam into the exact same baby tree that I hit on the way in. A peek at the map to show you where I'm wanting to go. And here we are. I think I'll go on foot from here, as I don't want to risk the vehicle against any more baby trees. Oh, this is really cool. Like a train derailment happened here, maybe? I'm not sure what they were going for, but it's nicely decorated. Also, nature toilet. Here we are. Man, everywhere I go in this map, there's just cool stuff. Ammo here that I probably will not try to haul out of here. There is no loot at this point worth risking death for. This building is cool, but I'm wary of all that thumping going on the third and fourth floors. Another interior. I am going to need somewhere safe to sleep tonight. I give up on stealth and decide it's best to draw all the zombies in and make them dead. Then I can sleep safe and sound. See, they were in there. And there. I'm not paranoid. You're paranoid. It's not paranoia if I'm right. Day 81. Okay. Safe. Seems like this place was some kind of news broadcast building. Yep, here's a radio tower. Not sure what this other structure frame is supposed to be. Power substation? Or maybe the bones of another tall office or apartment complex being built? Not much to be found in these tents, except this gun cleaning kit and a smidge more ammo. Of course, there's a lot of good weaponry I'm leaving behind here, but my bag can only carry so much. Time to go back to the Eep. Just walking out of there takes until evening time. On to the next point of interest. This is it. It's a bit run down. Might make a good paintball or airsoft field, though. My reward? These shooting glasses and the coon hat on this zombie. This area is awesome. I know, I'm saying that a lot. Even though the zombie count here is low, it's still a tense challenge because of all of the delightfully arranged visual clutter. To be clear, I'm not being sarcastic. This is actually tough and scary, but is truly delightful to experience. That said, I'm taking no risks. The sun is going down, so I will be sleeping my way through all of the hours of darkness. Day 82. Okay, the sleeping pills plus the really bad sleeping quality chair may have been a mistake. I didn't wake up until 3 p.m., so not sure what I'll accomplish today. Let's go toward that town, I guess. Of course, this will be a fight. Notice how I reload really fast? I may have said this before, but that's me manually using the time control keys, F2 through F5, to speed things up and revert things back to normal speed. Time reverts to normal automatically when a zombie gets too close. My play gets sloppy. This is about as close as I've come to death this run in quite some time. I think this scene is a good example of showing off just how quiet the silenced 22 is. I'd say its sound radius is less than 15 tiles, maybe 10 exactly, I'm not sure. And no, I don't know why the zombies don't just see me with their eyeballs. They're normally really good at that. Of course, it's now quite dark, earlier than I'm used to in a play session, and I need to find a safe place to sleep. I do a lot of creeping around in the upstairs here until I'm sure I found the one zombie behind one of these doors. Day 83. Yeah, I gambled with the sleeping tabs again. But hey, woke up at 7 a.m., so hopefully my sleep cycle is fixed now. Remember, in the before times when I carefully assembled that bag of food and then didn't use it for weeks on end? Well, it's finally time. Or I could have gone in here and just fed myself with beer, wine, and bourbon, I guess. Now, time to explore. Here, I'm checking cars along the way to siphon gas from. This whole Erie country map is entirely new to me, so I have no idea if I'll be able to find another generator in this town, or if the one I set up in Pseudo-Centralia will be my only real refueling point. This looks big and ominous. And hey, a grocery store. I guess I didn't need my bag of food after all. Hey, a can of coffee. And another one right after that. I'm not sure I've seen any coffee this run at all, so that's exciting. Basically, in the context of Zomboid, it's a very good thing to eat raw to stay awake during combat and remove your fatigue, which is what I use it for. Only do that in-game. Some sort of scaffolding for train maintenance maybe here? Okay, the silencer not aggroing enemies is kind of feeling broken at this point and overpowered, in the sense that it takes all the pressure and tension out of combat when I get to choose exactly how to engage and whether or not I'll be chased. I will keep it and maybe use it again later if I feel the need for that kind of power, but here I am in a wide open space and I crave the normal pattern of violence. I do find it funny that the 22 rifle makes the same regular noise as the base game's 308 rifle though. My clothes start to soak through, so that kind of ends the fun for the day and I need to go dry off. Yeah, weather. I'm just gonna sleep through this. Day 84. I wake up bright and early. I do a little foraging just because it's not quite max level yet. I spend some time organizing my stuff, mainly to clear out some of the junk that's accumulated in my backpack. Of course, I just end up shuffling that junk into the car trunk. Breakfast is corn and tomato soup. I don't technically have to cook like this, but with the grocery store full of easy junk food, but I felt like it. I haven't had an in-game relaxing sort of day in a while. I hit the wrong menu option here and hopped through the window instead of cleaning the glass, so yay, injury. I guess I am slightly injured now. I spend the rest of today poking around this apartment building. If nothing else, it's cozier than either of the places I've slept at so far in this town. I've been calling it a town, but it is more like some sort of industrial area with a bit of town and living quarters glued on. I guess time will reveal that mystery as I continue to explore. Day 85. Okay, and still injured. Well, I'm not wasting my valuable bourbon to disinfect this. I love that this place has so many neat rooftop things like this. Cool tiny room, rope up to the very top, and this suspicious rope that goes down into the depths. You know, I never looked behind this door on my way in, barely registered that it was there, assuming that it was going to lead to a generic boiler room or closet with no loot, but this is just really cool. Huzzah, Erie Country. Day 86. I begin my day with this can of tuna. And hey, my injury is healed, so I can go back to the business of exploring and exterminating zombies. Let's go. Didn't mean to fire that shot there. Fumbled the hotkey for turning on the recording software. Let's walk down a bit. And here's the zombies. I know, the silencer is on again, but I'm only going to shoot a few more and then conserve my last few bullets for later. Look at this guy, all kitted out. Nice bag, but I've already got a better one. Okay, let's check this place out. First, clear around the outside. And there, enough shooting. Gun goes in the backpack. Don't question how it fits in. Okay, this is the police station. Look at the neat captain's office sort of setup. We're stealing his coffee. I hear the banging upstairs, and I have no interest in going up a staircase when I know there's zombies up above that might be camping at the top. We'll come back later, maybe. And here's the main train station. Just gonna mark that corner off on the map. This might be industrial, or might be military. I'm not sure. No way I'm going in there yet. Not till they all exit and get put back in the mud. Too many floors. So many cool army clothes here. Oh no. There's not ammo in these tents, except this last one, and it has my ammo types. I guess I'll take this other rifle for what little matching ammo there is here for it. Man, this gun feels great. Does damage, sounds great. Shame there was barely any ammo for it. Day 87. Since I have ammo again, I'll be blasting for a while. Some sort of refinery plant? Okay, we're not going in yet, because they're coming out. I figured it out. This is a water treatment plant. That's exactly why it's so well guarded, because in the apocalypse, presumably we would prioritize protecting our water sources, and etc. Or maybe it's a fish farm. Those are my theories. Just showing off the tower. This is a truly impressive work of art to manage to do in Zomboid's map editor. It's great. I think I'm just going to use up all of the ammo and not haul the rifle around anymore for now. Day 88. Okay, I was wrong. This is not a police station. This is just a really fancy house. This last bathroom zombie got my heart going. A deep clean of the military area yields a bit more ammo. This is such a great little compact space. Bed, storage, sink. Awesome. I'd love to have this as a tiny base if I were staying here long term, and there's ammo here too. I fetch a bag from a zombie and haul all of the goods back to the car. Screw it. Why not? Why not live here? I bring the car forward and set about moving into my tiny new gatehouse home. I hear a helicopter. I'm not too worried as I think I've killed most of them already. It did bring a few, which interrupts my work. All this time, I didn't realize you could break down stretcher beds for carpentry. I've never had a need to, so yeah. Okay, fortified. And I added a few little decorations on the inside. Just junk that has been in my car and inventory, basically. Home sweet home for now. Day 89. Off to siphon gas from cars, since I have no generator here, nor have I seen a single fuel pump gas station thing. Full can. Here, have a single long cut of me going through this entire building. This interior is super cool. I know I'm singing praises a lot here, but it's earned. Good job, Erie Country. here I am over on the other side of this area. Not much exploring yet, just clearing zombies. This building is marked on my map as an exploration target. It's not particularly large or exciting. I almost died of stairway zombies. And then when trying to open my map to show it for the recording, I am almost jumped again. Day 90. Time for I made it another 30 days debuff. I have set the zombie hearing setting to pinpoint. They should more accurately hunt me down, and loud noises like driving and gunshots should have a more drastic effect. This may also make places like West Point and Louisville a lot harder later, but we'll put that aside as a problem for future Ducky to deal with. Here's my last marked building for the town. No windows or doors, so I cut my way in. The inhabitants. I oust them. There is no good loot here. I'll spend the rest of the day exploring and shouting, making sure this area is truly as safe as it can be. Okay, did some work around the base. Gathered up alcohol, wood pile, made a composter, and a rain barrel. Just kind of having things together so I can return here repeatedly if needed. Kind of like that time that I put in working on the base in the McCoy logging facility in Muldra. Which reminds me, I really should go back there and get my sledgehammer and some other stuff. Or, easier option, I could just hunt around here and hope that I find one. Anyway, I've tired my character out. Day 91. I run into a bit of a problem fitting the food bag back into the car. I have literally filled the vehicle with weapons and ammo. Screw it. I throw a bag of chickpeas in the trunk and some cereal into my backpack. The rest of my food can be left behind here. And with that, it's time for more adventure. So much map. Where to go? Eventually, I find the next nearest thing and decide that will be easiest. And here we are. I had to go back to the car for more ammo. Okay, this one is marked on my map. Let me give you the quick walkthrough tour. Day 92. I begin my day with looting, grabbing snacks for the road. Here's our turnoff. And road blocked. Time to clean them up. That's a few zombies. I zoned out and just kind of fought my way down through them all on foot. This is a train yard, and that's awesome. The fighting is kind of thick and a little close quarters, but I am precise and methodical. Note the small footprint that I've stayed inside of, which you can see marked by the corpses on the ground. Just doing little circle kiting. Okay, so this is the spot. We'll mark it off. I'm glad I didn't run right in because quite a few of them turned out to be inside. Some sort of storage unit. Regardless, there's a little security room, and the guard-looking zombie had the key. So I guess I'll just take this pistol and box of ammo. So, this is the true terror of pinpoint hearing zombies. Make one loud noise, and this can happen. Oh my god. The rolling retreat continues. I may need to consider getting in the car and falling further back. And away! I park way up the road and then walk back down. Caution first, and so on. Okay. I would like somewhere safe to sleep, and my hope of clearing the train yard today has been dashed. Let's go back to that farmhouse from the previous day. Day 93. Time to change my loadout up. Back at the bridge, I begin working my way in. All is quiet until I get back to this little place where road meets track. There, I begin shooting, and shooting, until it is done. Can I explore now, please? What a strange little structure. I'm unsure what its purpose might be. Is it just a watchtower, or some half-built thing? And why do the rails go around it in a little circle? Maybe it's the base of a crane? I have a bad feeling about this. Let's start backing up just in case. Okay. It wasn't as bad as I thought. Last on my list for this area is this big building, which seems to not have any good entrances on this side. Along the bottom. Here's how I'll get in once they're done coming out. This place is super cool. Look at these train cars, and the engines, and fossil engine. Upstairs is full of stuff too. There are still zombies around. Back in that storage facility from yesterday, I look around until I find a secure room to sleep in. The bathroom. Day 94. In the cold light of morning, I forage for sustenance. Yes, a raw daikon, the perfect breakfast. I determine my next target. I can't go where I'd first thought. There is no road directly from here to there. Dark Falls, huh? This is a neat bridge. Where are all the zombies? This is eerie. Whole lot of nothing here. Guess we move on. Well, I've not seen many greenhouses in mod maps. We're moving some wrecks out of the way. As I'm moving the second wreck, the fatigue modal hits, so I guess it's time to head back up to that quiet spot and sleep. Day 95. I may have made a wrong move stopping and getting out of here. I've cut myself off from the vehicle. It's not that bad. I've got this. Little rural area. Well, it's another place with houses. Food, water, etc. Hey, another neat bridge. Things were really chill until more of them than expected showed up. A large horde stumbles from the woods and pushes me back across the bridge. I'm glad I did the tactical retreat and properly funneled them this way. Train station, I think. I like it. I encounter my first sort of glitch here. I want to jump over the turnstiles, but pressing or holding the E key to go over them just opens and closes these shutters furiously. I am not upset, just very amused. Fatigue again, and zombies showing up in greater numbers. Time to run. Part of the problem on these days was that I did my sleeping on the piano bench that I was carrying around. It has a bad sleep quality, which is messing with how much fatigue I regen, how fast, when I go to sleep. Day 96. I am cold, so I add some padding to my coat. Just gonna cross that one off. I'll need to go through there later to reach the other areas. The zombies will wait. Going over the new speed bump is rough. A little morning combat, might as well. Slowly running out of ammo for preferred guns. It'll be good to go back to melee. Smaller fights each time, easier exploring. I walked all the way over here, just in case I pull another large horde. It's a mime zombie. Rough life being a mime in rural Kentucky. Here we are. My reward? A lighter. And in the second building, do you ever get that feeling of deja vu? This place was not a scheduled stop. I saw the little dirt road and wandered up. But it's a nice house. I appreciate the squareness and simplicity of the layout, and proximity to water for fishing. I'll mark it as a possible home. I spend a bit more time padding up my clothes. Did I mention that I have the cold-blooded disadvantage? Neat, bendy bridge. Wouldn't be a proper day without some combat, I suppose. The small pauses you see here are me pausing to sneeze, unfortunately. So, some bad things happen. First, I assumed there'd be a slope when I went over this edge, and I fell down one story. I wanted to go around back and see if there was some sort of secret due to some weird geometry in the bedroom. And then this happened. This is the highest my heart rate has ever been during this run. I flee. I am done with this house forever now. Back to the new home, and to bed. Day 97. Got a bit of a road trip ahead of me. I could probably keep driving past them, but I don't. Habit, keeping the path behind me clear as I can as I go. My last 6 bullets are used here. Blunt sword time. I am still too cold, so I loot a dirty leather jacket and patch it up. Then I learned that I can actually wear it over my current coat, which I guess means my coat actually counted as a shirt. I did not know this. Game changer. Getting close to the next map marker. Zooming out and stuff to give you some context on where I am. From here, I'll go on foot for a bit. Nice. This shack is perfect. It'll be my jumping off point to explore the town ahead. I mark the car on my map so I don't lose it. Welcome to Black River. Well, let's see how bad it is. Here's a few. This is manageable. And my second glitch. This oven doesn't work. I can't add wood to it, etc. I also can't pick it up. It registers as being part of the floor tile with the oven attached. Guess I'm making a campfire. Day 98. The first snowfall. This place looks and feels muddy. The attention to detail on the ground plane is great. First location on my list for this area. This house is nice, has a good bed upstairs. I'll do a bit less walking if I start staying here to sleep instead of hiking all the way back to the swamp shack. Today, I focus on clearing, walking around outside, shouting, slicing, bonking, dicing. I like the use of burnt out cars here. I'm close, so I check another spot on my map. It turns out to be barely a shack, with just 2 walls. It gets more wet. Day 99. I move the car forward. By the gas station, fighting continues. What's this? A police station. There isn't much. Smidge of ammo, and a shotgun, which I decide to use immediately. Notice how it isn't loaded? Well, I didn't, and I almost died. I get into a very long fight. Given how quiet it was here, I didn't expect that there would be so many just around the town hiding in the woods. But the shotgun noise provides combat. I am pushed back, all the way out of town. While resting between fights, the helicopter arrives. Perfect. Unfortunately, it's pretty tame. Either I killed them all, or my long rolling retreat left a good chunk of them too far away so they can't pursue me. Even my house isn't quite safe at this point, and I have to fight off a few in my yard. Day 100. On the final day of this video, I want to look my best, so I shave one last time. There is no grand celebration, no finale here at the end of the video. That's really not how Zomboid is when I play. It's a sandbox game at its core, and because I haven't died, it just kind of keeps going, so long as I have the will to continue to play. Even here on the last day, there is something. I wanted into this survivor house because I'm addicted to the power of machetes and kukris. Inside, I find a sledgehammer and some long blades, which is about as good as it could get for RNG in here. I haul them back to the car. Getting the bag of goodies back to the car becomes the latest and an unusually hard challenge, having to stop a few times to rest and to kill zombies. Technically, I have no other spots marked to loot in this town. Remember how I said I thought I'd left hordes behind during my retreat? Yeah, I found them. Mostly, I only fought today. There was one more survivor house I planned to check out near the gas station, but I fight to fatigue and decide to retreat. I kill some persistent pursuers by my car and then head to bed. In the dark of night, or early morning, I drink my victory bourbon and pass out. 3 months, 10 days, a handful of hours. Day 100 cleared. Victory. This is how I lived. Here is the end credits screen. The show is over. You can go home, but I'd appreciate it if you stuck around for a little bit longer to hear my closing thoughts. At the time of writing this part of the script, I've been recording gameplay and working on the rough draft of this for about 3 weeks. I anticipate that it will take at least 2 more weeks to get through the editing and etc. to put this video in front of you. Thanks to my buddies featured in the cast column, I've spent many months playing Zomboid with them prior to this, and without their generous sharing of time, lifeblood, advice, and etc., this project might not have come to be. Many thanks to those supporting me through Patreon as well. A special thanks to Mr. Lamprey on Twitch. From him, I learned how to play Zomboid at a relatively high level. If you're watching this for some reason, no, we don't know each other. I've spoken in your Twitch chat like twice. An additional special thanks to Volrant, another Zomboid content guy on YouTube. Finding him in my YouTube recommends one day inspired me to get back into making Zomboid videos, and this video is the current end result of all of that. That's the story. That's all I have to say. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.